People. Inter 2, Lazio 1. Great game by Inter. Great game by Mr. Bastoni, to be honest with you. Mr. Bastoni has been absolutely phenomenal. Bastoni today. I'm going to call Matteo Bonetti who said, bend it like Bastoni. I think this is it. I'm here. There's a lot of people here, guys. There is a link that is pinned. You can have your say with me and the guy that we all enjoyed the watch along with, Doctor, Mister, Captain. Here you go, Mister Uncle Sharma. Hey, what's up, my brother?
Yo,
Hey,
let's
top of
go.
the table again. Top of the table. We're gonna be there, and this is us, game in hand. Yes, however, we're still top of the table, my friend. How are you? And how was your match along? And how did
Yeah, it
you
was
get
it was
Sony?
intense. It was intense. It was more shaky than I thought at the end. It was it reminded me a bit of the Conte times when we sometimes hold on to leads right at the end. But now, man, it's good. We're back finally. 3 weeks we waited for this team to play, and yeah, 2022 is starting off with a win. Just how we ended 2021, man. And yeah, very very happy. Second star mission continues.
So, guys, please like and subscribe to the channel. This is our new channel here. All the content is going to be here. It's down there. Just hit a like, share it with your friends. And also, Uncle Sharma here is doing watch alongs now for the big games. You got to tune in to this guy. Gives you all the reaction. He's always there for every Inter fan and also probably Seriea fans, but not so much Juventus fans. But however, they won today. One of the greatest games, Juventus, but also our game, man. Talk to me a little bit about Bastoni. Guys, Bastoni is Bastoni. Tell me about him.
Bro, man of the match, obviously. I think no one's gonna argue with us. Um, a goal, and what a goal! Like that was like Fabian Ruiz, like just in the corner, beautifully curled, as you said, bend it like Bastoni, just so nice. No chance for Strakosha, and then yeah, the assist is all similar to how he assisted Dumfries, like on the head for Skriniar's beautiful, yeah,
Dude,
exactly.
this was
Chef
like,
kiss, but even not
oh
just that,
my
like
God.
his defensive side, I think he was even as the defender, he was the best defender in the team as well today. Like Skriniar and De Vrij were a little bit shaky today, so just a complete centre back performance from Bastoni. What a guy! I'm glad that we've got this guy for a long time.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Guys, if you want to join me and this great guy, you guys watch him always on his channel. Tune in. The link is pinned. Give us your say. I want to, Uncle Sharma, I want your people to question you live here. I pinned the comment, guys. Join on in this great thing. But hear me out. I want to get your thoughts about a couple of things in this game, to be honest. Did you like that Gagliardini started over Vidal and Sensi and Vicino? Give me your say, because a lot of Inter fans on Twitter, they were not happy with Gagliardini starting. So how did you feel before going to the game and seeing the lineup?
but it's funny because we always, whenever Vidal is rumored to be the starting, like all the lineups had Vidal starting, and then Gagliardini starts. But it's happened a few times this season, so I wasn't surprised. And again, I think he does do a job on Milinkovic. Clearly, it was put on like man marking Milinkovic Savic, and I think he did okay in that. But in general, like whenever we were attacking, I think every time he touched the ball, like the attack broke down. I was surprised he completed the 90 minutes, to be honest. But at the end of the day, you saw when Vidal came on, he wasn't great either. Um, and
It was
Inzaghi
absolutely
trusts him.
horrific. It was horrific from him,
Yeah,
to be honest.
Inzaghi trusts him. Conte trusted him, so there's a reason these guys keep trusting him, man. So
Yeah,
tactically, clearly, he's doing a job. But
absolutely.
he was, I don't want to, because usually when we give credit, like they deserve credit, they do get it. But I don't, apart from the tactical work he did on Milinkovic Savic, I don't really see what Gagliardini really added today. But we got the win, so I guess it worked.
Okay, Sub Zero here, a long friend for this channel, saying that the referee and VAR were both terrible. Lautaro was onside and Zakani should have been sent off at least twice. So I want your comment first on how do they draw these lines? Nobody knows. We need some clarity right here, right? Like, tell me about that goal. I thought after I saw the replay that this is clearly onside, right?
Yeah, also like beautiful ball by Sanchez. I didn't even like doubt it. I was like, it's so clearly onside and so like beautiful run by Lautaro, beautiful finish. But yeah, I don't know what Pythagoras theorem they're using, or like I don't know how much they zoom in with the microscope. Like that must be the harshest call I've ever seen. Like so Like it must be literally like millimeters, like
Here's
so
my
close.
theory. VAR wants controversy. It's the way okay, so to be honest, they tell us that these lines are drawn by artificial intelligence, but actually
Mm.
it's not true. They put the lines in. What I read is that they put the lines in, but the vertical line is an AI. But they chose the point where this line is coming from. And I'm
Oh, so
sorry,
they
like
choose the one on the so they choose the one on the floor. You're saying, and
no, no,
the
no. They choose the point where the line is gonna go down, and then the artificial intelligence gets who's on and who's off. But because they choose from here, because the shirt it depends on your the frame they choose depends on if the players like if this is black and the or this is white and depends on the player's skin and the frame. It might be far, so I'm like it might be from here and it might be from here, and it's millimeters difference. So these guys need to figure this out. This is, I'm sorry, you're finding a way to call these offsides. You're finding a way to cause controversy. It's just kind of strange.
yeah. I mean, I don't know if I believe the fact that if they're doing it like to create the controversy, but it's way like I know that in the Premier League they've allowed a little bit of
Thicker
tolerance.
lines.
Yeah,
Yes,
they've got
thicker
thicker
lines.
lines.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, that's
I
the
hope
thing.
they
And
do
why is
better
there
in,
different rules in different leagues again? Like this, they should be like unanimous. It should be uniform.
because
Uh,
there's not a lot of backlash here about VAR in
mm.
Italy as much as in England for
Oh
some
yeah, yeah,
reason.
yeah. Over here, they hate ball.
Yeah, in England, you're from the UK, like, and it's just this is it's an everyday talk in the newspaper about VAR, and
Yeah, yeah.
but anyway, so Bastoni, some comments here, Bastoni Mastermind, and there's a couple of comments that I wanted to share with you. Love that our backline scored all the goals. People say, hey, give me your thoughts about my personal opinion. This was absolutely Skriniar's fault. You should first clear the ball, then look at your teammate. He should have cleared the ball. Yes, De Vrij was not covering. He is the sweeper, okay? But clear the ball first. And I know that a lot of Inter fans, me and you included, we don't like to call out Skriniar, but he was at fault. He relied a lot on De Vrij. So walk me through your thoughts about this goal and what did you think? And did you blame Handanovic? Because a lot of friends on Twitter blamed Handanovic for it.
No, no, I don't think this one, you know, I don't think this one's on Handanovic. This is on, I think it's more 50-50 between Skriniar and De Vrij. Yeah, Skriniar was very lazy. Like he just left, I don't know what he did. Like he just left Immobile go. Like I think he was just expecting De Vrij to be covering his ass, as you said, like being sweeping in behind him. But again, De Vrij as well, no communication between him and Handanovic. He just let the ball go. So I think it's 50-50 between, okay, 40-40 between De Vrij and Skriniar, and then 20. It'll give 20 to Handanovic because he still flapped at it and completely missed it.
Guys, 55 people here. Please hit like, subscribe if you haven't. This is a new channel. You'll see that we're growing. We're giving you the same content with the great people, with him, me here, Uncle Sharma. Anthony might come in later. He's a little bit, it's very early for him. But
Wake up,
hey,
Anthony.
give me your comments about this guy today. Oh man.
Oh yeah, Sanchez, man. Like, yeah, if it wasn't for Bastoni, he would be my man of the match. Like, we know with Sanchez sometimes he loses the ball a lot. Him and Pedro today, I think they had a very. Pedro was like the Sanchez for Lazio. Like they would just pick up the ball, come deep, turn, and just like create openings. He always has those link ups with the Dumfries. Those 1-2s he does. Yeah, Sanchez was really good today. I'm very impressed with Sanchez. I think he deserves to continue playing. To be honest, I think in the Supercoppa. Honestly, I'm tempted to start Sanchez. I am. I'm really tempted to start Sanchez because he's been in good form.
8 wins in a row. First bump in our thing, and we passed
First goal
Emilia
we
well.
conceded in 8 matches.
Yeah, and first bump. It's a really really it's a really tough January and February for us. But did you think that we're gonna get 3 points out of this game before the game? Were you sure? How did you feel? Because Bologna we haven't played for a while, and the players was a little bit rusty. They said so. How did you feel? Do you feel were you confident or were you a little bit hesitant or waiting? So tell me about that.
Yeah, yeah. No, I was fully confident. I said 3-1 in my preview, but I also was expecting that rustiness in that first half. Maybe I wasn't expecting it to be like that bad. Is in like after we conceded that goal, it seemed like the boys were really kind of panicky. But yeah, even at half time in my watch along, I was saying, I'm confident these guys will win. Like this team now, it just gives me so much confidence coming into things, even when they are not at their best, like we were today. it's just a different level. And today, a lot of people in my stream were saying we're missing Hakan, we're missing Hakan, which is true. I think we did miss Hakan today, but I think this team, one or two players missing is not a big problem. Like we saw, we beat Napoli when Ranocchia played centre back. We can beat teams when one or two players are missing. It's just I'm so confident with this team going into every single match, man.
And there's a lot of comments about Bastoni here. Like we talked about him. He is like Chris is Bastoni heading to the best center back in the world. Bastoni's Inter Newman, Maldini, and then who have the best defenders in the world. Props to Bastoni, as props to Gagliardini. This is something we talked about. Gagliardini, Vidal is done. No, Vidal is not done. Vidal will get his moments in Champions League and other stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
So
people were being very reactionary. He was like, Vidal he was clearly improved from last season this year. So, you know, he's got what 10, 15 minutes at the end.
yeah, it's not bad.
Everyone was rusty today, so you can't just call him
Yeah.
off for like one substitute appearance.
So hear me out about this question. How would you guys rate the value of Bastoni 70? I don't want to talk about money, to be honest, but if you're going to value Bastoni, if someone comes in with 80 million, would you sell Bastoni?
But I have like the two unsellables on this team. I feel like are Barella and Bastoni, and maybe like Skriniar as well. But to me, you just can't touch those two because they're the future of Italy and the future of Inter. Anthony, get your ass in here. And
Yes.
yeah, but if we're putting a monetary value on this, it has to be a world record value. I think we're talking about breaking that Van Dijk
Yeah,
number,
people are
breaking the
saying, yeah.
Maguire number, because this is a guy who's 22, 23 years old. Very rare because left-footed centre back is rarity in football already. Good, very good left-footed centre back, good ball player, but also good defender. So like he's the complete package. So I think you're talking about world record fee here.
Some people are saying Gagliardini is the new Zanetti. Well, he's a long way to be Zanetti, man. This is a long way to be Zanetti.
Yeah.
Gagliardini, very average today. I thought he did his job. The problem with me and Gagliardini is that I don't think he's a football player at all,
Bro,
completely.
that's exactly today. Everything that he did well wasn't around football. It was around like
Exactly.
being glued to Milinkovic Savic.
Tackling Milinkovic Savic, stopping an attack, doing
Yeah.
something like this, but it wasn't all about playing football, to be honest. So people prefer Gagliardini to Vidal. I just every time I see Gagliardini, I still think at 37 years old, I still have a chance of playing football again at a higher level. To be honest with you, so one guy that we haven't talked about is Lautaro. Great finish, yes. Maybe Lautaro shoulder was offside, yes, but how did you rate his game? Give me a rating for Lautaro. I'm going to start rating players with you quickly.
Mhm.
And I know that a lot of people here want to rate the players, but tell me about how did you see Lautaro today? Because for me, I didn't like his game today. Parts he was like he faded off completely from the game. He wasn't there, but he popped up when we needed him. He scored. I will call this goal a goal. But other than this, he was not involved a lot in the build up like Alexis.
Yeah. Yeah, I think especially in the second half, I remember in the stream someone pointing out like where's Lautaro? And I was like, yeah, like in the second half,
Yes.
I didn't even see him. Like he was just not involved in the play, in the build up. Um yeah, so apart from the Strakosha save on him was very good, the volley,
Oh,
and
that
yeah,
was
as you said,
brilliant.
yeah, and that's
Yeah, when I was taking
Lautaro.
comments, when I was taking comments about the game on my note, and I'm like, this thing has to be mentioned in a stream or something. Like this volley was brilliant. It was on a minute ago, but it was absolutely great, and it was a great cross from Dumfries, who was, to be honest, was average today in terms of what we expect. However, he delivered a couple of crosses that I thought they were absolutely great. That one to, I think he delivered one to Perisic, and it
Mm,
was a deep cross. He was not bad, Dumfries, today, but
no,
I was so glad to see Darmian back. To be honest with you, I was so glad to see Darmian back, and I think it's really good to have a competition in one position, and it's that's what we don't have on the left because it looks like DeMarco is an inverted center back. To be honest, I know he came on as a left wing back, but I don't prefer him as a left wing back. But Bastoni is great, but he can when Champions League is coming, he can play as a left center back. Who would you start from these guys on the Super Copa on Wednesday?
I think Hakan comes back for sure. I think now,
We
I
have
think
Atalanta on the weekend, right?
Yeah, we
Sayang.
have.
Well, fuck. Yeah, people, if you don't know, like, you gotta keep our eyes like this. It's Juventus, Atalanta. It's like there's no stop. Go ahead. I'm
Oh man, it's
sorry.
gonna be a busy period for us making videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Hakan has to come back in. Even though I think Vidal would be like he'd be dying to start that match against Juve. You know, Vidal just wants to play against Juve so bad, but I think Hakan has to come back. I would start Sanchez and Dzeko up front, to be honest.
Whoa, it's a big call.
Mm.
So
This
Hakan
is,
would
this is
start
right
over
now in
Vidal.
the heat of the moment. I need to think about it more. But right now, I feel like Sanchez has been the inform striker for us until now. Correa was in good form until he got injured, so I think he needs to build back up again. So it is between between Dzeko and Lautaro. And I've said in the past, I think if you ask Inzaghi, it's a Champions League final or a Super Cup final as it is, I think he will start Dzeko and Lautaro. I think we've seen in the big matches he starts the Dzeko and Lautaro, but
Yo,
I would start Sanchez for sure. I think right now, I think he's just in really good form, and we should continue until he doesn't get injured. Just continue his good form.
I'm gonna welcome Anthony to the stream, but I'm gonna ask.
Here he is.
I'm
Good
gonna ask you
morning. Good
guys.
morning, mate.
Hey, Anthony, my friend. I know you're a little bit. It's very early in the morning, but
It's
it's a
not,
great
bro. It's
win.
it's 9 o'clock. I've been awake for 4.5 hours.
Oh,
But
it's
this
nine
this
o'clock.
this
Yeah, yeah,
Omicron
yeah.
this Omicron ain't no joke. Look out for yourselves. Just fucking be careful
Oh,
what you
you got
touch, eh?
COVID, bro.
Yo, man, I got it. I got it heavy yesterday. I'm about 40% better today than I was yesterday, but it hits you like
Oh
a train,
man.
man.
Oh, get well soon, bro.
Thank you,
Get
bro.
well
But
soon,
hey,
Anthony.
it was a good
We're
game.
talking. We're talking. I know. Yeah, we want to talk about the game, but I want to ask you the one question: who would you rest from these guys for Juventus on Wednesday if you're gonna rest anybody to for the Atalanta game on the weekend? Because we know Super Cup is okay, but we want to focus. If we pass Atalanta game with a win, it's a great thing for us. So, would you rest anybody? Or would you burn these guys in these two games?
I think we've got a luxury at the moment where you can be a little bit more reactionary than not. Play your best players, play your fittest players. Like, you don't drop Sanchez after today, in my opinion. He was really good. He was really, really good. But then, like, with Dzeko fit and ready to go, do you start him? For me personally, I'd just start Sanchez and Lautaro. Dzeko coming off the bench is like having an artillery weapon, man. And even today, he wasn't at his best, but you can tell when we were holding the game, as long as that ball is around the vicinity of Dzeko, it's going to be very hard for the other team to get the ball complacently and restart a counter attack or restart a press up. And yeah, Dzeko's just, for me, Dzeko is at the perfect age to be playing these sort of minutes. You bring him on with 30 minutes to go, 25 minutes to go, and everything should be okay. The Super Copa is the sort of game where, I'm not about to put money on it, but I can almost guarantee it's going into extra time. I can just see it going into extra time. So I think that regardless of who we start in the Super Copa, everybody, like today, is going to get their rotated minutes. And then we'll analyze Atalanta when it comes. For me personally, I'd be starting Lautaro and Sanchez against Juventus in the Super Copa.
Uncle Sharma, would you rest anybody from the defense? To be honest, this is because we have very good three center backs, and the level after this is a little bit lower. So, would you rest anyone?
No. For the Super Copa, you have to go all out, man. I think after like what's the even for Atalanta, I think we just have to go all out for these next few games. Unfortunately, especially at the back. Um, Let me see quickly the fixtures for Inter. I think the only time we can actually afford to rotate is that Coppa Italia fixture, I believe, against Empoli.
We
Yeah,
have
then we
Coppa
play we
Italia,
play
Empoli,
Venezia
and then
after
now
that.
we play Venezia after
Yeah,
that. So we
exactly.
have
So
a little bit of room. We have a little
rotate
bit of room.
after Atalanta, and then rotate for the Venezia game, and then afterwards we have to go all out again because then it's Milan, Napoli, and Liverpool.
Is it true that we have like a good 12-day gap in between the Venezia and the Milan game though? Or is it
I'm
like 8
checking.
days or something? Because I saw that yesterday. I'm like, if that's the case, then
Yes.
Limone can just break this down into segments. You don't
Yeah,
have
yeah,
one eye on the derby. You can start thinking about the derby after the Venezia game.
yeah.
So
Exactly. You can go all out for Venezia.
are they gonna schedule a game, or that's an international break?
International break for South Americans.
Yeah,
So we have a
it
lot of
says
South American.
BD for the time.
Vidal and Sanchez are suspended for 3 games for Chile. They won't travel this time.
Oh,
Well, I
that's
think
very.
Vidal is. I don't think Sanchez is suspended.
Oh, damn
People are
it. That's
calling
the
to rest
one.
Gagliardini. People want to rest Gagliardini.
He was all right today.
Rest in
You could.
peace, more like.
He
So,
wasn't too bad today. He did what he needed to do. It's just he's playing beyond his level when he plays these fixtures. That's all.
guys, we have about 60 people here. Please like the video, subscribe to our channel, guys. And if you want to join us, I pinned the link to this stream at the comment. You can find it there. Just come in, have your say, and show us what you want to say. If you wanna ask Uncle Sharma, this guy is famous as well, man. He's like, you're famous everywhere, and everybody's
Not
asking for you.
famous.
Anyway, I'm gonna go through some of the stuff that I wanted to talk to you about regarding this particular game. Do you think this Lazio game, this Lazio team, can get points from any of the top teams? Because we want this Lazio team to get points from Milan, from Napoli, from Atalanta. Do you think this setup, sorry, these players can get points from these teams?
They can, but it's a weird conundrum for Sarri. As I was saying in my stream, they're very good on the counter attack. But Sarri, obviously, we know what Sarri's style of play is. He wants to be possession-based, dominate possession. But they're not. This team is just not built for that. This team is still Inzaghi's team that's built off sitting deep like they were doing today and counter-attacking. And they're so good. Like how many openings did they create against us today on the counter-attack? If they do that, I think in the big games, then they can do it. But I think Sarri has to sacrifice his Sarri ball for sure. That's the only way I think they can do it, because this is still Inzaghi's team pretty much.
People are talking about the Liverpool and the Milan and the Napoli game. This is later. Hopefully, by that time, we'll be 7 points ahead of Milan. Hopefully, by that time, we'll be winning against Milan, and then we'll be 7 points. Go ahead, Anthony.
I wanted to ask Zio more specifically because I'm not gonna stick around very long. Did you catch the Juventus Roma game, bro?
Bro, that was mad. That was a mad game. I'm glad I caught it because I wasn't gonna watch it, but then as soon as I started watching it, from the first minute, it was crazy. Like Roma played so well until about 65 minutes, and then they just fell off, like so un-Mourinho, like this Roma team.
Man, it was really, really bad, that second half drop off, man.
And
like
the funny part is that Juventus scoring the most goals they scored this season when Allegri's not on the bench.
4 goals, bro. It'll take Allegri 4 games to score 4 goals when he comes back.
Yeah.
This game was absolutely, I think it was the best game, the most exciting game, this Serie A, because it had everything.
Definitely.
It has a red card, it had penalties, it has goals, it has deflections, it has everything. That's fights. And it had Mourinho. And it's like, I feel sorry for the guy.
De Ligt getting another red card for playing volleyball the same day that Bastoni is balling out.
So sick of hearing people call him the best defender in the league. It's starting to agitate me. Like,
guys, you know me, I'm a level header. He was so good. And he was so good during the game. It's, to be honest, Rugani is not a center back for even like a top 10 teams. Rugani should not be playing, but he played over Chiellini. But we'll come to Juventus when Juventus is due, right? But let's talk about this Inter. Let's talk about what we need in this January, guys. This is what do we need, Zio? What do we need?
What, in terms of transfer market?
Yes.
I don't think we need anything, bro. I don't think we need anything. The team, like, we've got 4 really good strikers. We've got like the midfield. It is what it is. Obviously, we can improve on the backups of the players, but I think as it is, this team is fine. I think in the summer we can really, when we have money to spend. And again, you see in the stadiums once again are going to be reduced down to 5,000 capacity. Whatever money that people were rumoring that we had to spend in January, I don't think we're going to have it. So if we can try sell, the Vecinos or someone like that, one of the backups, and then you can get someone in midfield, then yeah. But I don't think this team at the moment in January needs anything.
So, Anthony, do we need a midfielder? Because today we saw the lack of creativity that came only, you're muted, the lack of creativity when we didn't have Hakan. So do we need a creativity in the midfield in January, like anybody?
We need a little bit more creativity. I'm sure in January or not January, next season, we'll be looking at bolstering the technical side of our midfield. But he was still in form on Twitter. He was still in form on Twitter after the game, man. I don't know if you guys saw him post. He posted on Twitter and he goes, "Thought for a second that I'd be suspended forever." And it looks like he's watching a cooking show at the top of the San Siro on the TV. He's not even watching the game. But he just makes me laugh, man, because he looks like he's involved on and off the pitch. Like, he wasn't joking when he really said, "I'm really enjoying myself here." And this time off the pitch for Hakan, I think you're going to see a devastating performance when he gets back on the pitch. Team Hakan is here to stay. I think the only players today that weren't 100% at the races, especially in midfield, was Vidal. When he came on, he looked a little bit drunk, but that's okay. Once again, we're bringing him on to be a pain in the cooler in the last 15 minutes. It's just that he's got to stop giving away those free kicks in bad positions that can potentially change the game. Because even if he thinks it's the right call at the time to slow the game down, like, come on, man, you can't be giving those sort of free kicks away. I just wanted to say that today was the sort of game where you win it and you look back at all the other games that we've won recently and go, these weren't flukes. These weren't, when you pump teams like Salernitana, Venezia, Spezia, a crappy Roma, it's easy to get complacent. And I was really upset when that game against Bologna got postponed, because I'm like, well, now we're going to be rusty. Today we were rusty. We were rusty with 65% ball possession, dominated the game, controlled it, got the worst calls from the referee, and we still came out looking like if there was 10 more minutes left in that game, it would have ended 4-1. Should have been a red card, should have been a goal to Lautaro. There were another couple of dodgy calls there as well, in my opinion, but that was a champions game today, and I'm really, really impressed with this group of players. And that reaction from Skriniar's goal with the whole team running on and everything, that's what football's all about, in terms of having, a really good squadra that's tight-knit together. That's the reflection, that's the evidence that you need. There's so many teams in Italy and in Europe where they're really just going through the motions. They're still playing catch-up. There's still a lack of purpose and contextual purpose going on in their club, but this is a machine of a squad. A team full of leaders, a team full of captains. We're making the right calls in the market. We're one or two markets and one or two more leaders away from actually having our foot on the throat of this league. And I'm really excited, and I hope we keep making those calls.
Yeah, Mustafa agrees with you. He said exactly what you just said. He said we are a machine, and it's this team is a machine. To be honest, people wanted Kostic. He had a great assist the other day, like yesterday. But to be honest, I don't think we need a left wing back at the moment in January. Maybe later. We need someone to replace Hakan that can create something. Uncle Sharma, I was hearing your match watch along, and I wanted you to clear this for the fans. Who's not gonna play in the Super Copa? People are confused about the elected red card, Quadrado. So Chiesa's injured. I feel sorry for the kid. I wish him a speedy recovery. To be honest, because it was nobody fouled him, but I was there. I hate knee injuries. They're terrible, they're painful, and it's a long recovery. So tell us who's not gonna, is Quadrado and the Lictor, are they suspended for the Super Copa, and how is it related to Serie?
Quadrado's not playing. He's not playing the Super Copa. Definitely,
Really?
100%. Yeah, he's because the suspensions count for the Super Copa. So like, if the Super Copa was today, Hakan wouldn't be able to play.
Lautaro didn't get booked today, did he?
Yeah. So Delict is out, Quadrado is out, and yeah, Chiesa is out because of injury. So yeah, Quadrado is the main one, because that guy, hates us just as much as we hate him, and he always balls out against us. So, and
He's
De
the
Ligt,
most
obviously,
annoying good player in Serie A. Like, let's just put it this way: he's the most annoying good player
he
in
seems
Serie
to
A.
annoy his own fan base as well. They don't seem to rate him at all.
So guys, you making excuses about not having Delict. So Vidal starting is a good choice to replace in Hakan if needed. I don't think so. It's totally two different players, and we talked about this before. So guys, let's rate the players quickly from both of you. Handanovic, how do you find him today?
I had a rare moment where I didn't blame him for the goal, so all good on my end. I think it was a complete mix-up from Skriniar and De Vrij. Of course, Handanovic, he's rushed off that line probably because he hasn't had to rush off the line much this season, and he just panicked. At the end of the day, I'd say, only about 10% of that blame is on Handanovic. The 90% of the blame needs to be worn from the centre-backs, probably De Vrij a little more than Skriniar, but once again, it's a rare mistake. I think so, because Skriniar commits to Immobile thinking De Vrij is on his shoulder. So in my opinion, it's a bit of a mix-up on both. But hey, man, what's the best way to make up for an error like that? You just bang it off the crossbar. Like, oh, Skriniar, bro, my God, what a player. So Honda can get a 6.5 for me.
Zio?
6, because he didn't actually have to do much apart from one bit where he had to come out on Immobile when we had another mix-up. And then I think he has like 10, 15, 20% of the blame on that goal. But
somehow it looks like nobody agrees with you guys. Like, everybody's giving him a 5 on all the foot mob, who scored, and all these things. For
Oh,
some
who
reason,
scored?
they do.
Who scored gave him the error because it's got E next to his name, so they gave
Yes.
him the error for that goal. So that's probably why.
Why do people do this only when I don't blame him? I've had to fight against every fan all season, and the one it's not normal. Oh well.
Okay, guys. We move to De Vrij, who I think was a little bit part of the problem. For me, I give De Vrij a 5 because he got it's. I give him a 5.5 to be honest. What about you two?
I give him a
Yeah,
6.
5.5 for me. I agree.
So let's see. They gave him 7 somehow in every in every platform. We're like, maybe we don't know football, guys. But people are giving De Vrij
Well,
6. But I
it's
think
because they gave the error to Handanovic in their algorithm.
oh,
Skriniar and De Vrij don't have the error for that one.
so for
Yeah.
Skriniar, because he scored, but he was responsible for the goal, to be honest. For me, I'll give Skriniar 50 or 60% because you clear the ball and then you look up at teammates, which is what we learned in football and then what everybody tells you. If you have a chance to clear the ball, just do it first before you look for a coverage. And Anthony, I know you blame De Vrij, so tell me about Skriniar after he scored and his performance.
There's still an element of blame for Skriniar, so I would have had Skriniar at a 6 after the equaliser, but not only for the goal that gets him another point. Just before that, he was sniffing around so hard. You see his pullback on his right leg to win the free kick that Sanchez hit on target. What centre back does that, man, so confidently? Like, the guy's just a baller. He can get an 8 from me because it takes a real colossal mentality to come back from conceding a goal like that. And Milan Skriniar, man, he can get the 8 from me.
Zio.
I think 7 because he had the winning goal in the end, so he deserves definitely credit for that. But again, yeah, half of the goal is on him, the conceded goal. But in general, he was decent as well, Skriniar. I think
And go ahead.
no, that's it. Yeah,
And the man of the match, Mr. Bastoni. I get a 9 from me because
9.5.
dude, this was one of the best performances I've seen from
Primo.
Bastoni in an Inter jersey. What about you two?
This is the performance that gets him right into the Azzurri starting spot without any sort of debate anymore, because there's a lot of people out there that in a one-time game, whatever, would make some sort of ridiculous excuse to not start him. This is probably the best centre-back in the league and the country at the moment, and I think the sky is not even the limit for this kid. I think Zio said it at the start of the video. There's 2 untouchables in this team, and he's one of them.
yeah, man, 9, of course, and yeah, starting for the Azzurri, and yeah, he had a difficult start to the season. Bastoni, he was a little bit even for the Italy when they played Spain. Was it one of the goals? Was his he had a bit of a shaky start to the season, but last 2 months, like Bastoni has been like top class, and yeah, today was just a cherry on top.
Do you want my honest opinion about the Azzurri thing? The problem is we play 3 in the back, and Mancini is 4 in the back. By the way, it's a massive problem for any coach. If you hear any coach talk about the difference between the club and the national team, he says because you don't have a lot of time, to prepare that center back that played 30 games or 38 games in a back 3, and before the tournament or before your international break, you only have 2-3 days. It's very hard to get especially a left or right center back, to start him in a back 4 right away. This is why sometimes they start him as a left back or a right back if they play on that side. And that's the only argument that people have against Bastoni, to be honest, you guys. One of the things that I saw today is Brozovic. I want to say that Brozovic today was really good, but everybody knows how his game now, and he gets marked. So, Uncle Shaman, I give you the mic because I know you have to go. It's very late at your time. And tell me a little bit about Brozovic. Do we have to renew this guy, or we can get another Regista?
No, I think in the past, maybe when we still had money to spend, maybe we could have looked pastures elsewhere. But I think you just have to renew him. And I think from what I'm reading, pretty much Zhang has come here to give him the green light for that last offer that we're giving him, 6 million plus bonuses to take him to that 7 he wants. And I think, he's 29 years old. He's going to be, 33 by the time the contract expires. I think it's just give it to him. I think it just makes sense. The way he's been performing as well. He deserves it. And today maybe it wasn't his best match, but he was being man marked by Basic. Sarri seemed like he did, you know what Kulusevski was doing with Juventus on him, just like shadowing him. So it did stop him a lot today. But yeah, Brozovic is a must renew, man.
Yeah, guys, we're gonna say bye to Uncle Sharma. However, check his channel out if you have not subscribed to his channel. It's Uncle Sharma. You'll find him on YouTube. Great videos, great watch-alongs, content every day or every other day. So this guy is a legend in the Inter community. Follow him on Twitter. You'll find his. You'll find just type Uncle Sharma on Twitter and you'll find him. Thank you so
Thank
much
you,
for
man.
coming on, and it was great to watch that your watch along today. You were actually behind me, so but I did not comment before. You were about like
Thank you.
20 seconds
Appreciate
behind me.
that.
So so thank you so much for coming and hope to see you soon and hope to great videos with Inter always winning. Thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Anto. And yeah, make so guys, you can join in. Look at the pinned comment and click on that StreamYard link, and you can replace me in the stream if you want and have your say.
Please, guys,
Yeah,
have your say. Please. Thank you so much, Uncle
ciao.
Sharma. Hope to see you
Forza
soon.
Inter.
Thank you so much. Anthony, my friend, we want to go back to the rating thing.
Let's take
So
over the
one thing,
midfield, bro.
one thing. Brozovic, give me a rating, and then I will let you go, and then I will continue with the rating. To be honest,
Okay, cool. Seven for Brozovic. I think in the first 20 minutes, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mo, but I feel like Brozovic's frustrations are always at the start of the game. And it's weird because most players tend to get frustrated as the game goes on. But Brozovic is that sort of player where if we make a mistake or if things don't go away in the first 20 minutes, he's got his arms up, he's having a little bit of a whinge. Brozovic takes a while to grow into games. And that makes a lot of sense because as an anchoring sort of technical regista, you need to wait for space to open up. You need to wait for the game to get into its own sort of natural flow. I think as the game goes on, Brozovic just becomes ticking. He's the clock. He's the hand that ticks our clock, man. And I love him so much. And I think if what Zil says is true, if Zhang is here to negotiate the contracts and Brozovic, that contract gets sorted. I said this in the match preview, man. That contract will be like a domino for the rest of them, for the Skriniar, for the Perisic. Maybe even we get really lucky and we re-sign De Vrij for a couple of years, obviously with intention to sell, but to get a fair price so that he doesn't leave for free. I am going to dip because I'm not feeling 100%, but overall, I will go on to say I thought Barella had a really good first half, frustrating a little bit in the second half, but Mo, I'm sure you will agree, a lot of our players today looked really well rested. And that's what I loved because we dominated possession, we dominated the flow of the game, and it just seemed like we were fitter, we were more energetic, we were more physically prepared for this encounter than Lazio were. And no Milinkovic-Savic heroics was going to make sure that this ended up as a bad day for us. Gagliardini for me gets a 6.5 because he's out of his element, but I still think he did everything that was asked of him to do. You are literally asking this guy to play chess with checkers pieces if you want him to do more with that. He hasn't got it in his repertoire. He's not capable of beating a man. How many times do you see Gagliardini get in space and try and just push the ball in front of the defender to win a foul or to get it into space? Because he can't beat a man. That's not the way he's doing it. But he held the ball up okay today, and I think he did his job well. Other midfield, as we already went through them, I think Perisic, very involved. His end product today wasn't fantastic. He was a little frustrating. I'd give Perisic a 6.5. Altogether, I'd give Dumfries a 6 and a 6.5 as well. I think he made himself present in the box a few times, but probably could have made some better runs today, especially when Barella was on the ball. I noticed him getting into like half of the right positions, but couldn't exactly execute. And then it gets really fun up top, man. I would give even though he didn't find the back of the net where it counted, I would give Lautaro a 7 today. I think he was really good off the ball. I think he looked really hungry, and I don't think he had an ill-tempered, ill-disciplined game. Mo, Lautaro Martinez needs to learn when to take a dive. He dives at the worst times, and then he gets clipped in the box and stays on his feet. I don't get it. I want to see him go to the floor more times in the box if he's going to hold the ball like that. And then for me, Alexis Sanchez gets a 7.5 today as well because I thought he was really, really good. The only thing that was missing for these two gentlemen was a goal on the score sheet to get themselves up in the 8s today. But that's pretty much it from me. Oh, and Simone Inzaghi gets an 8.5 out of 10 today because I think as a manager, he's set up perfectly. The goal we conceded was a lapse in concentration. It had nothing to do with the tactical flow of the game. And I think we responded really, really well. So thank you, everyone that's joining in on Inter Worldwide. I'm eternally grateful. I appreciate it. And I appreciate you, Mo. Thanks for making this amazing stream happen.
Anthony. Get well soon, my friend. Get well soon.
I will. Oh, my brother. Forza Inter. Let's go.
So, guys, first of all, I want to talk about a couple of things I saw in this game. Is the how can we use Alexis Sanchez? He was absolutely great dropping and playing and doing all the things. The problem is Lautaro is not the guy that will create for himself. He needs a lot of people to create for him. So that's why we need maybe Alexis Sanchez can play in a top three and we can play two midfielders. But I don't know about that. But it is something that is maybe another manager will look for. But I know Inzaghi doesn't do this unless we're actually losing. So to me, I think Gagliardini is good, but he's not good enough for Inter. This is what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments as well. And if again, it's the pinned comment, you can see there is a link there. You can click it, join me from your phone, from computer, from anywhere. Join me, ask me questions if you want. I'll lay you in the stream and let me know. People saying Brozovic is so important. Brozovic is very important to move the ball from the back to the midfield, to be honest. And I think that we don't have anybody in the league that can do this job. Even Locatelli is not that good. I think Jorginho is not even that good, to be honest. Sanchez is absolutely phenomenal in terms of maybe he can play if we play Barella and Brozovic deep and we play Sanchez ahead of them. So Brozovic is a key in the midfield. We need to renew this guy. People, please like this video if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Share it if you want on your socials, on Facebook, Twitter, whatever. Try to follow us on Twitter, Inter Worldwide. Follow my handle. We tweet about the content on Inter Worldwide. We try to give you the best streams ever. I'm gonna try to wrap this up because it's getting late here as well. But this Inter can bypass the next period in January and February, to be honest with you. It was great. It was great to see Inter today bypassing this Lazio team. This is the Inter we want. They equalized from a mistake, but we created a lot of chances and we absolutely deserve to win. This Inter team is a Scudetto winning team. There's nobody better than us in this league. Don't tell me Milan won against Venezia. It doesn't matter. We're absolutely better than all the teams. The problem is we have Champions League and we have Napoli and Milan before Liverpool. But however, we have Milan before Liverpool and Napoli after before we play Liverpool again. But hopefully, if we can win that Milan game, we'll have a little bit of a cushion and we will be able to go to the Liverpool game focusing on the Champions League. Now, Liverpool is not in the best form. People say Liverpool might be the hardest game of the season. But I think that with the right attitude, we can definitely pass this Liverpool team into the quarterfinals. This is something that we can do. And I trust this team. I trust this Inzaghi guy. This Inzaghi guy is one of the best coach. Mo, would you trade Lautaro for Vlahovic in a heartbeat? Yes, I would absolutely trade Lautaro for Vlahovic without a question. But I think Vlahovic is more expensive. Is very expensive in terms of comparison with Lautaro. Milan is the most important game of the season. I think yes, because if we win against Milan, we will actually put them in with Atalanta and Napoli in the top four thing. I like your optimism. I think we can get past Liverpool. I think we have a 10-20% chance. When we come to that game, we should think about it. We have the Super Copa, we have Atalanta, and then after that is two easy games, I think, against Empoli and stuff. But we can give Liverpool a hard game, as the Nerazzurri from the Netherlands say, and also we can win against Milan and we can also win against Napoli. I want to thank you all for coming in. Thank you so much for tuning in. There's a lot of people here. We had a lot of people coming in. We had Zio, we had Anthony. But hopefully next time, be prepared. I'm gonna post the link again. It's on the top. Join the stream. Tell me what you think. I want the fans to come in here and tell me what they think. Because this is what we are. We are a fan channel. We're all fans. We're not professionals. We're here for you. And we're here to create content. And I want you to join me. Thank you so much. Take care, everybody. Forza Inter. Forza Inter worldwide. Please like the video and wait for our content. Support us if you can. And thank you so much. And we'll see you soon.